Hi, my name is Elle Jimenez. I am a professional mermaid, and this is how I work it. I'm going to take you through 24 hours of my beauty and wellness routine. I have been a professional mermaid for almost 4 years now. Before I became a mermaid, I actually did not know how to swim at all. I was terrified of the water. I got swimming lessons. I got lifeguard certified. I do a lot of kids parties. I do corporate events. Weekends, I do 1 to 5 events. Sometimes they're an hour, sometimes they're an hour and a half. I can hold my breath about 2.5 minutes on a good day. I'm always in the water. I want to be able to hold my breath. Out of the water, I usually work 40 hours a week on my mermaid business. Other than being really good at being a mermaid, I am pretty good at being a mom. Being a mom has been such a gift to me. It's the best job ever.
My little guppy.
As flattering and beautiful as it looks from the outside, actually being the mermaid is a lot of work. A lot of hair maintenance, skin maintenance, all the damage on my feet. My eyes get so red from the chlorine or salt water. The best part of being a mermaid has got to be the magic in it. As a mythical creature representative, I bring that magic into people's lives and I make their dreams come true. So that has got to be the best job ever.
Good morning. It's 6:30 a.m.
During the week, I wake up to take my son to school.
Come on, Ellie, it's time for school. I know, I feel the same.
The weekends, I have to wake up early because that's when my actual work happens. I have my coffee in the morning. Being in the water with a heavy tail, I really have to take care of, really stretch my body. I do a lot of yoga and my breathing exercises. Hydrating is essential. It's funny because I'm always in water, but you really have to drink a lot of water. I try to eat light before my gigs.
And my stainless steel straw. We don't want plastic.
And eat a lot more after my gigs. I don't want to swim in a full stomach. It takes me about 3 hours to get ready for an event. It takes a long time to put all the mermaid makeup on and do the mermaid hair. I usually condition my hair to protect my hair from going into the chlorine. Same thing goes with my skin. I have to make sure it's protected, lather up on sunscreen. I always get to my gigs, makeup and hair ready.
Okay, here we go.
Most of my products are Elle Cosmetics. They're vegan. The only products that are waterproof that I use is my eyeliner and my mascara. I'm using so much makeup all the time. I actually want to use affordable makeup and make that waterproof. This is how I do it.
First thing I'm gonna do is my primer all over my eyelids too.
Because that's where most of my fun makeup goes. Primer is huge because it will make my makeup last all day long, even if I have 3 gigs.
A little bit of foundation on my eyelids.
I wear a lot of high pigmented eyeshadows. When I'm doing a kids party, my colors of choice are usually turquoise and blues and kind of like the ocean. And when I'm doing corporate events, it's usually more smoky and kind of like more nighttime.
That's the mermaid brush. Isn't it so cute?
I start with my brightest colors and I put them right here in the middle. My favorite color is turquoise.
It looks like a lot, but in the water, it's even better.
And then I start with the darker tones on the edges.
There's a little bit of shading there.
I use a lighter color on the inside of my eye.
So that there's more of a gradient.
Now that my blue is on, I'm going to do eyeliner. This is just from CVS. It's Maybelline waterproof liquid eyeliner. I usually do a thick line because I wear lashes for dry events. For wet events, I cannot wear lashes in water. A dry event is when I am doing meet and greets and taking pictures and dressing up as a mermaid. And a wet event means that I am actually doing a swimming show in water. My thick eyeliner is like my pretend lashes.
That is quite the change.
My skin is very sensitive, so I use hypoallergenic makeup. I use Neutrogena. I kind of want to create a barrier so that there's no pool chemicals affecting my skin so much. I want to protect it.
Now that my entire face is covered, I am going to do a little bit of contour.
I use really light concealer.
You think that's a lot, but it's going to look mermazing, okay?
Oh, you're the worst.
I know.
If I'm doing a gig in water, I don't want to show any dark circles, so I get concealer that's super light. My skin is always in the sun. My makeup rarely matches my skin tone, so I'm always adjusting, and I have this amazing contour palette.
I'm going to smooth out all these highlights that I just put under my eyes. Got some in the forehead, under the cheeks. Give it that sleek look.
I wear a lot of sunscreen, layering it up, reapplying after a while. I don't mess around. Most of my makeup has sunscreen already. When I'm doing ocean dives, I make sure that my sunscreen is reef safe. So I want to make sure that all of my products are environmentally friendly, and this is why I don't wear any glitter. Glitter is not environmentally friendly. They're microplastics. I avoid them at all costs. Being a mermaid, I represent the vastness and beauty of the ocean. I got certified in marine ecology. I try to make it so that I'm not making it worse. I actually need to make it better. A huge part of my work is my ocean conservation project called Saving the Seas. Part of the Saving the Seas project is creating extraordinary content to wow my audience and make sure that they know how beautiful the ocean is. As a scuba diver, I have gone as far as 35 feet. As a free diver, I can go 15, 20 feet. I have done a lot of stunt work that requires my freediving expertise. I've done music videos where I have to actually dive deep. I have had amazing experiences in the ocean, swimming with marine animals. Then they just look at me all weird and they think I'm crazy. I think they're crazy. It's awesome to bond with such a beautiful underwater world. It's definitely a mermaid's playground.
We're gonna take the darker tones. Gonna start right here. And give it more dimension.
During my shows with kids, we do have storytelling. I try to teach them a little bit of what they can do to make this planet a better one. I grew up basically in a mountain in Puerto Rico. Going to the beach was like a 45-minute drive. I always loved going to the beach. It would be like a special trip for us as a family. I'm really, really proud of being Hispanic and to be doing something so impactful in this world. That is my job. So I have done some of my contouring here. And now I need some blush. Blush is one of my favorite parts of doing my makeup. I love the coral tones. I feel like I'm brighter and fun. These are my mermaid nails. Usually I keep them short, but this time I went a little fancy. Being in the water and touching concrete all the time does affect my nails. I like the mermaid scales. Yeah, they're actually free-handed. So I'm going to add a little bit of like a lighter color underneath my eyelid right here. Make it more dimensional. And in the corners, kind of like a highlight. It's just these ocean colors. I call this like my sea foam. And now we are ready for lashes. It's my favorite.
Look at that. It's the award winner for Allure. Lashes completely change the look.
Wait until it's tacky. Again, I am not a pro at makeup. I just know what I know. I wish I was a mermaid that was born with long lashes. But when your life is all about pretending, you get really good at it. While the lashes are drying, I'm going to use my waterproof mascara. A little bit down here, kind of open up my eyes a little bit more. Spider eyes. My son is hilarious. He's my real guppy. He actually helps me a lot. It's really funny because I know that he's really proud of what I do. He'll say what I do to people, but in my face, he's like, it's cringy. That's what all 9-year-olds say.
Love you.
Love you. I see my work more as an entertainment profession. You know, it's not just playing dress up, it's definitely carrying a business. You have to make contracts, you have to work with clients, finalize bookings, do your marketing, go to networking events.
There we go, you're doing it.
That's how I see it. I see it as this is my showbiz. And it is fun, I have so much fun, but I don't do it for fun, I do it for work.
Ready for some eyebrows?
My eyebrows, I wish they were thicker, but they're not. So I pretend, because my life is pretending. It is.
I got medium brown brow cream from Elle, and I'm just gonna take just a little bit.
It does not come off in the water, which is amazing because I don't want to like come out of the water and then, whoa, she got no eyebrows.
Now we're starting to look like a mermaid. The last thing we gotta do is put on the lipstick.
I always go with a red lipstick. Even though I wear a mermaid tail, I am a showgirl at heart. This is Revlon, a Certainly Red. It is Certainly Red. Look at that. It's just a stain, but it stays on in the water and it could last all day. I love to stand out. And when I'm in the water or in a pool, people don't really see me like right there. They're always like seeing me from far away. So I want to make sure that they can see. I use a Face Painter's grade setting spray. This is Final Seal by Benai. It really can make my makeup last all day long. As the final seal, we're going to spray a little bit. Ready, and it's so minty and refreshing. I love it. I struggle a lot with my own hair.
Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do?
My own hair is about this length. You can actually tell because when I'm in chlorine, my hair color actually changes. There was a time that I did a mermaid gig and I came out of the water and my hair was green.
It suffers so much in the chlorine, and of course I like to be blonde, so that doesn't help.
I dye my hair once a month. I don't want to overdo it.
What's next? I'm going to put my extensions. Hello.
These hair extensions are jewel clip. They are double weft. So that means that they are thicker and I need less tracks, which is amazing for me because when I'm in water, I only use 3 tracks.
And I try to place them between like half of my head and all the way to the bottom.
Because when I come out of the water, I want to make sure that my tracks are not showing.
Almost done. Mermaid hair don't care. And
this is one of my amazing mermaid crowns. I custom order it because I want to make sure that they match my tails. So this is what I look like after my transformation. I'm a mermaid princess. After I have my makeup and my hair done for my events, I have to pack everything. The tail, pack the monofin, the accessories. Most important is towels.
mermaids make giant suitcases. Let's go.
If you ask what a mermaid has in her bag, it will always be a little bit of extra makeup, all of her tails and tops, and a first aid kit. Safety comes first. Because I spend so much time in the water with the little ones, I got my lifeguard certification, my scuba diving, free diving. I have first aid, CPR, and AED. That's super important when you're dealing with the little ones in the water. Hurry up.
Gotta be really incognito.
I have about 9 tails and all of them are pretty expensive.
What are you doing?
They range from $300 for a fabric one, and then a silicone one, which could be $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, around that range. The silicone tails are the hardest to put on because they are rubber. You really have to just push your body inside of it.
This is hard. It doesn't look flattering at all. Gotta go over my butt. Very exhausting, but that's how you put on a silicone mermaid tail.
I do a lot of crafting and maintenance on my tails.
Right here I have one of my tails that requires the most maintenance, which means sewing these scales back on.
There's a lot of things that you have to think about before you get into the tail.
I'm ready to be carried and to the party we go.
Once you're in a tail, there's not much you can do until you take it off. I have to make sure that I go to the bathroom right before the gig, right before the show. It's not fun to be on your period and be a mermaid. Those days of the month that I am gonna be in a pool, gotta trust the tampons. I always have this bag. I like to make sure that I'm ready. Mermaids have more fun. When it comes to children's parties, I get to actually swim with them, hold their little hands, and go underwater, and they can see with their goggles, they can see my underwater tricks. I do bubble hearts, I do bubble kisses, and they absolutely love it.
One of the funniest questions I've gotten asked by a child, you know, they're very curious. They ask like,
How do mermaids go to the bathroom? I don't know how to answer that.
why do you have makeup on? I always say that I get pigments from corals and gems.
Do you guys know what mermaids eat?
I always say something like seaweed salad, and they're like, ew. I try to make them laugh.
My favorite mermaid puns? Oh my gosh, I have so many. Mermazing, you are fantastic, absolutely. I do a lot of this mermaid talk, which I say like, shallow, it's nice to meet you, or that's my shell phone, things like that. The difference between doing a kids party and an adult party or a corporate event is that there's so much more bonding with kids parties.
It's not just swimming and pretending to be a mermaid, but it's also creating that magic and making sure that they know that they got a friend in me, that there's a mermaid out there in the ocean that's thinking of them. And it's the most favorite part of the job. I'm getting emotional.
At the end of every show, I tell the kids, next time you go to the beach, make sure you say, Mermaid Elle, I miss you, and I will hear it no matter where I am. There's a lot of kids that send me letters. It's very, very special.
From Mermaid Elle, mermaid kisses and starfish wishes.
I love you.
I'm a mom, and I know that my child's imagination is huge. So to be a mermaid for these for these kids is an amazing job to have. It's the most favorite thing I could ever do in life.
I know that I have that little girl inside of me that loves mermaids. And me doing what I do, it kind of brings her out. I used to pretend that I was Ariel in my bathtub, and I would make that part of that world and like that splash, and my mom would get mad at me because the bathroom would be all flooded. Ariel was always my favorite, and I always thought that she was crazy for wanting to go to the land and meet the humans. I do my own scheduling, so there are days that I have 2-3 events, and I have to make sure I have enough time in between to get there, to drive there, to dry off, and then get back into the water again. The only time that I cannot perform is if the pool is not heated and it's below 60 degrees outside.
It's so cold!
It's Florida and it should be warm, but sometimes it could get really cold or it could rain during my gigs.
I think Florida is broken. It's raining!
As long as the guests can be outside, I'm still performing. I'm lifeguard certified, so I have to make sure that there's no lightning. If there is, then everybody has to get out of the pool. If I have enough time between one gig and another, I go home to redo my makeup and redo my hair.
Another show, another spray.
Okay, so I'm brand new again because my night gig is like really high end. I wanted to make sure that my makeup and hair was put together again. Most weekend nights I have really late events. If you ask me what my favorite tail is, it's always going to be the LED mermaid. That's because I actually made that myself. It took years for me to test it out. It's a waterproof, light up mermaid tail. And it's the only one in the world right now that is in working motion that I use at events. There was definitely a need for it. I was getting booked for nighttime events and these tails are not really showing in the dark. So I created ones that have lights on them. If the pool's not well lit, you can't really see the mermaid and you have to see the mermaids, and that's a really wow factor. Wearing that is like kabam! I end up getting home around 1 a.m.
I am back and it was cold, but my makeup is still intact.
After I get home, there's a long process. The first thing, I have to wash my tail. I have to make sure that there's no bacteria that stays in the tail. I put it in the bathtub with some dish soap and I let it soak for a little bit. It's super important that I wash my tail correctly and that it dries all the way so there's no bacteria growing on it. And now that my tail is soaking, it's my turn to shower in the other bathroom.
This is when I transform back to human. So sad. I don't want to go back. It's too magical.
I have to take all the makeup off. I use a scrub. I use coconut oil as well.
I make sure that all the makeup is off, cleanse my skin. Super important, mostly after being in a pool or in salt water. I'm going to use a toner. Make sure that my skin is back to balance. Hydrating cream because I need lots of moisture.
I wash my hair really, really well and then I condition it with Olaplex products.
For my chlorinated and bleached hair, super important.
I do the hair masks and treatments. This is how my extensions end up after my gigs. I use a lot of the Olaplex products because they smooth them out very nicely. I let them dry, then I brush them. I take a look and see what the damage is on my feet. Feet and toes are like some of the biggest problems that we have because our feet are constantly being inside this mermaid tail, being rubbed.
This is what I use for my blisters and my wounds. They make me heal a lot faster.
I always feel after gigs that I have this like layer of something, it's like gunk. So I make sure I use a really good scrub.
And I make sure that I hydrate as well with some body lotion and body creams.
Get some facials and body wraps during the week. My eyes suffer a lot.
My eyes are so red from the chlorine. The downside of what I do is the pool chemicals.
I use lubricating eye gel before the gig and then I use eye drops after. And usually after a good night's sleep, my eyes are a lot better. As a woman, being a mermaid makes me feel like I can be myself and I can be unique and rare. To be able to support my family, pay my bills, and be independent through this mermaid work. If I'm a mermaid and I'm thriving, then you can be anything you want to be. I mean, for real. I end up going to bed around 2:30 a.m. and I just want to fall asleep as soon as possible.
I am so tired. It was a long day. Mermaid kisses, starfish wishes.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching. This video was actually filmed prior to the COVID-19 outbreak. During these times that we have to stay in and not work events, as you can imagine, a lot of us entertainers and performers are suffering a lot, and making a living has become very difficult. So I've had to get very creative, and I'm offering personalized video messages for kids.
Shalom everyone! Life under the sea is better than anything they've got up there.
These personalized video messages are so much fun. They're mermazing. They're for kids who are at home, maybe for their birthdays or special occasions, or just for fun to have a friend under the sea. I also have some merchandise, so even though I miss performing and I miss doing my mermaid shows so much, and I can't wait to get back, it's been actually nice to finally get some things done that I've always wanted to do. I cannot wait to get back in the water, hopefully very soon. You guys stay safe out there. Mermaid hugs to you guys. Mermaid kisses. Starfish wishes. Bye.